everyone, and welcome to the Chit Chat Live for the week of March 28, 2016. Today we will be talking about long lost family, relative race, and giving you a wonderful sneak preview of Who Do You Think You Are? Hope you all are ready. Hi everyone, my name is Shannon Combs-Bennett. I'm the creative director for the In-Depth Genealogist, and joining me tonight, actually in my own home, is Jennifer Alford, publisher. Terry O'Connell is over there in Chicago still, Executive Director. Mary Roddy from NKR Genealogy, and Christine Woodcock from Genealogy Tours of Scotland. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. How's everyone doing out there in YouTube land?
We're good over here.
Yay!
Things are good in Seattle.
Yay! Way other coast.
Yeah.
How are things in Canada?
Yeah, they keeping warm up there in the north?
We're keeping warm. It's rainy as hell.
Ew! That'll probably be tomorrow here.
We had that today, the past 2 days.
I'm sorry.
70 and sunny today.
Oh, rub it in.
And that's Seattle. That's just not right. Well, we have quite the packed show today. So what do we want to start with? Relative race or long lost family?
Relative race?
Relative race. All right. So what happened this week that is notable, newsworthy, or just plain funny?
Oh, plain funny. Did you watch last week's episode?
I was busy.
I'm talking about us, not them.
Oh, okay.
No, like ours. It was quite funny. So the blue team is getting by using depends, so they don't have to stop for potty breaks.
Did you catch that?
And the other teams know about that somehow.
So we talked about this and giggled and laughed and how funny
Thank you for watching Chit Chat.
The host actually made a lot of comments about it this week.
Wow.
Oh, it was versus they talked about her like peeing in bags and stuff like that. Your face was priceless enough, so that's why I had to do it.
Next.
Another good episode. Beyond the craziness of having to win and, you know, not stopping to do the essential stuff you need to do in life. You know, I say the same thing. It's like it's so much of the race, a little bit of family time.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they're not connecting, you know, okay, so DNA says we're related, but they're not really showing what that connection is or how they figured it out. So I would like to see a little bit of that. And people are actually starting to complain online about that. Like, I'm so sick of seeing them sitting in the car arguing about the map, or, you know, it's like, let us see that interaction and see how that goes.
Yeah, so it's kind of like they are playing off more the reality TV sensationalism part of the show than the actual connection with family history and new cousins.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. And I feel so bad for the one lady who she's really wanting to meet her relatives, and yet, like, the last 2 or 3 places they've gone, it's been her husband's relatives. And she
I don't think she's
like
had one yet.
She was, yeah.
I feel so bad for her.
But it's reality TV, and you signed up for not knowing what you're going to get, so.
Yeah, yeah.
The part
I
that
will
I
say-
thought,
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Mary.
the part that I thought kind of really surprised me is there was just this throwaway at the end of that episode where the dad from the blue team connected with his daughter, who he hadn't seen in years, and saw his grandson. And I mean, you know, they'd already done, you know, called the red team and told them that they had gotten another strike, and it was like it was the end of the show. And I watched it recorded, I almost turned it off, but I kept it on. And then there was this whole other thing about them seeing this grandson that they'd never seen before.
Yeah.
And I don't, that part, it was like the show just threw that away. There was no foreshadowing, no nothing. And I thought that was one of the most interesting parts of the episode.
I couldn't agree with you more. I thought the same thing. I was actually sitting in the airport this morning watching it on my phone, and I'm watching it, and I was like, wait a minute, what was this? And so, like, I actually replayed it, and I was like, man, they could have done so much with that part of the story. It was really interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that's disappointing.
Yes, it was.
But we will say this: it's the first year. Maybe they'll, learn and make some changes if they do season 2.
Yeah, growing pains, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We all have them.
Well, sometimes more often than others.
They definitely have set themselves up for, it's kind of tough the way they're doing it with everybody going to different places and trying to do these challenges and all that. So to me, it's like, yeah, it's cool that they're having to, do this with their, dumb phone and mass directions and all that kind of stuff. But like, I really noticed this time that they are, like, even in the coverage of them driving, they're like, oh, well, they could possibly get off on the wrong exit this way, and it's just like, yeah, that can happen to anyone.
Yeah.
Right.
Why make it drama?
And the challenges also, I kind of wonder about some of those. I mean, there was the one where they had to find the compass in the dog, and that was related to the people that they were seeing because they did dog rescues. But the people in the restaurant that had to eat the meal in 15 minutes, I mean, how does that relate to their relatives?
Yeah.
It was just kind of...
Well, obviously the relatives weren't going to feed them.
Yeah, who knows?
Looks like Shannon and Jen froze over there.
Oh.
But it's hilarious the way they did it.
It's not very attractive. Poor Shannon.
He looks like the kid from Home Alone.
Right? Lord, I hope someone freezes quickly for her. Anyhow. Any other comments or thoughts on that, Mary?
No, I think that was kind of just, again, I'd like to see a little,
them.
Yeah, they'll be back, I guess. See a little less road and a little more family.
Yeah.
But, yeah, a little less race, a little more relative, I guess you could say.
Yeah, exactly.
The part that I was also curious about was the other teams did know that the blue team was using Depends. And I wondered how they knew that because...
Oh, that's interesting.
They watched Chit Chat Live last week.
Yeah, right?
It's not going on. These episodes have already been done, I think, and in the can, and now they're showing them. So
in the can. Oh, Mary. Obviously, there's got to be some kind of discussion going on with maybe the host and the rest of them, or the crews, or maybe talking.
Yeah.
There's so much that we don't get to see.
Yeah.
I will say this, though. The green team, when it started, I was not a fan of the green team, and each week I softened to them just a little bit more. Now she's saying, I just don't want that last strike. I just don't want that last strike because I won't be able, we'll miss so much in not meeting that family.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's endearing to kind of see that she's softening and it's not just about the money anymore.
Yeah, and I'm like rooting for the green team and the red team to not get strikes because
I know.
Blue team has room to spare. So let them get a strike.
Exactly. And I'm still the red team. Something just very sweet about them.
Yeah.
Definitely rooting for them. So, looks like Shannon's still having problems trying to connect. So I'm hoping this will connect her.
Okay.
So let's move on to Long Lost Family. Tell me, there are 2 stories this week. Which was your favorite story there?
I think the one of the girl that was 16 years old and had to give up her child, that her dad just basically was sounded like a very um, dictatorial father and said, "You're going to do this," and there wasn't any discussion, and she had the baby and then left the hospital and went to school, and you could see that that really had broken her for the rest of her, for the next 25 years or however long it
Mm-hmm.
was.
Definitely. I will say with that story, I liked how they showed him using the map, and he's looking at the Air Force Base, and he's trying to figure out, and I'm looking at this county, and then he goes back to the map, and he's like, oh, it's 2 counties. Let's try the next county.
Yeah.
Kind of shows like what we have to do on a day-to-day basis with the research that we're doing.
Right, right.
I liked that it kind of gave that angle of research. What about you, Christine? Which one was your favorite?
I think probably that one as well. I mean, my heart broke for that kid. Just have a baby and then get on with your life. I don't know how you do that. Particularly as a mom, I think. I can't imagine. You should never be a child again. Never be a child again, and then just to automatically think, well, we're just going to get over this blip, and then you're going to go on with your life. There's no way. It's just heart-wrenching.
Yeah. I have to say, for me, though that was a good story, and I did like that there were kind of research takeaways from it, the story with the gentleman who was looking for his birth daughter really,
right. Yeah.
really grabbed my heart. Not even going into the whole story, but when they met, and he's wheelchair bound, and he's like trying to stand up to meet her, and she's like, you don't have to stand. And he's like, yes, I do. And she ran and put her arms around him. She's like, I got you. I won't let you go.
Yeah.
Oh, crushed my heart completely. And you could tell that she just seemed like she
it was all. You know what? For that.
Go ahead.
That actually reminded me of the Who Do You Think You Are episode with Christina Applegate, and the dad finally found his mom.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then right at the very end, he had on her tombstone, I finally found you, Mom.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing, eh? It's just so sad. I can't imagine going through life and not knowing. Just unbelievable.
I wholeheartedly agree. And I think that it was, she just looked like she was a very lost woman.
Just daughter?
Yeah, just in life itself. It's like she needed that person, and I really, truly hope that they're going to be able to help each other through what they both need.
Right.
Another good story. Heartbreaking. Both of them.
Yeah, it's definitely a
they had a thing on here. TLC had reruns.
Mm-hmm.
They had like a marathon, and watching those 2 sisters. The mom had died, and the older sister remembered going. The 2 girls got together at the end and scattered the ashes,
Mm-hmm.
and the